Hey guys! Welcome to another episode of the Rusty Beauties Restorations, where we're working on the 1966 GT6 and we're making good progress lately. It's nice when you have time to spend in the garage, right? So, in the last episode, we fixed the lower A-post. So that's what I mean. We made 1, 2, 3, 4 separate patches here, and we built this part of the lower A-post that was totally missing. We made this patch here for the bulkhead. We still have to make one here, but that we're gonna leave for later. We made this patch for here, and we put everything together. So now we have a solid piece here. Still not spot welded to the bottom, but I want to wait until I have everything rebuilt here. So that's what we did in the last episode. Today we'll see how it's gonna go, but the plan is to start rebuilding everything towards the back here because it's all gone, you see. I still want to make the best decision here how to proceed here, because I don't want to weaken this upper post here. So what's remaining of this sill structure here, it's holding my door jamb in one piece. If I remove the inner sill now and the strengthener piece from here, the whole door jamb might twist. Even though I have the floor, but the A-post is not held to the floor. So I don't know. Alright, so what I decided to do is I'm gonna repair this part here. I'm gonna try not to disturb the inner sill because it's still keeping here the structure. So I'm gonna try to repair only this part up to here. You know, there's a joint here between the strengthener piece and the lower A-post. So I'm gonna repair the lower A-post, and once this part is rebuilt, we might just tack it to the floor here in 2-3 places to make this A-post solid so it doesn't twist on us, because right now I'm afraid that it might go up or down. You see, it has a little bit of play. So we're gonna tack it in place. Then we're gonna come here at the end, and I think we're gonna, I don't know if you see, and then I think we can remove the inner sill and the strengthener piece from here and repair the edge of the floor here, because from here till the end, the edge of this floor is more or less gone, and it needs to be repaired before we install the inner sill and the strengthener piece. I'm gonna take the risk at that time because the A-post is gonna be solid. Here the B-post, the bottom is gone, but here inside it is attached to the deck, so it is pretty much solid. So I'm gonna take the risk at that time, and I'm gonna remove the inner sill and the strengthener. And then we're gonna repair the floor. Then probably we're gonna repair this can of worms here. I think it's the last one on the body. We have some more on the bonnet, but not on the body. And once this is repaired, this area here, we can install the inner sill, which we have to make again, and the strengthener piece. Just to make sure that nothing moves, because what I'm concerned about is the door jamb, that it might move. I'm gonna take a few measurements of the door jamb as it is right now, and hopefully nothing is gonna move, but we're gonna be able to see if something moves. So I'm gonna take diagonals. I'm gonna say from here to here, let's say, that's exactly 35 inches. I'm gonna write it in my notebook, 35 inches. And I'm gonna take another measurement from this corner to here. Wow, that's exactly 47 inches. 47. So having those measurements, hopefully we're gonna be able to put everything back in the same place. I'm just concerned that when I remove this from here, everything is gonna go all over the place, but maybe I'm just being overcautious. So anyways, let's get crack-a-lacking. So for here, I'm gonna cut it somewhere here. I'm not gonna go higher, so I can keep the outer post. So somewhere here, right here. So based on the sill height here at the back, where we still have it in the original position supposedly, it's 3.5, and here we have 3.5 right now, which means that when the two pieces of metal here are flush with each other, oh my god, my new gloves, then that's the correct position of the floor. We're just gonna memorize that. Okay, so we need a piece of metal that's a little bit bigger than that, and we're gonna make the bend here. All right, so we have this piece of metal that I made, and it just happens that it has this hole, but we need holes here anyways for any water that collects inside the inner sill to drain out into the outer sill, so it can drain out on the road, you know. So it's just enough, and I left it a little bit lower here because now when we bend it to make this shape, we need to make this triangle. That's gonna shrink the top line, and this end is gonna come higher. Not that much, but a little bit, and this is gonna allow us to trim it. So let's mark it. So we need a bend here and a bend here. Right? I'm just eyeballing the rear one, but hopefully we're gonna match it. So we need this one up, and they're round bends, so I'm gonna bend them by hand. If I pull this, it's gonna become like really sharp line. This way it is a little bit less. So this one needs to go the other way. So we're gonna flip it around. There you go. And now we're gonna flatten this part. And you see now this line became thank you. Now this line became a little bit round. Like not very visible, but just a little bit. So let's see how it matches. Just need to make these deeper. Now we can use our fingers. Yeah. Okay. Now I can cut a line here, and then we're gonna trim this piece based on that line. You think we should do the opposite? Okay. Okay, let's cut it this way. Okay, that's not bad, but I just realized that if I mount this piece now, we're gonna have a big problem. Not big problem, but a problem, because the sill, the inner sill, has a flange like this that we need to spot weld here. And this is where the inner sill ends, somewhere here. So we need to be able to spot weld here, but if we mount this piece here, we're not gonna have access to this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut it like that, maybe, so we can have more access to almost till the end here. And then when we're making the strengthener piece, we're gonna make it with this triangular shape so it can reach there. We still don't have much room, and I also realized that my triangle goes too far down. So I'm gonna flatten it all the way to here. Okay, I weld it like this, and here we're gonna go with spot welds as far as we can go to the floor. All right, this is welded, and the whole thing is now really solid. It doesn't move anywhere, the A-post. So I'm happy that we did that. Now, like I said, I'm just gonna go to town, remove the inner sill, the strengthener piece. I'm gonna clean up this corner. Maybe I'm gonna do that first. I'm gonna clean up this corner because I need to clean up inside here, because to remove the inner sill, we need to find the spot welds here and drill them. And once everything is out, I think we're gonna start by repairing this corner here and the floor maybe. I don't know, but these are the things that we have to do. We have to repair this corner, we have to repair the drop of the floor here, and we need to make a strengthener piece, new one. We need to make an inner sill, so this entire structure becomes solid again. So without further ado, let's get crack-a-locking. All right, the sill is out and still everything is pretty solid. You see, I was worried too much. Like the big post is not moving anywhere. So whatever was left of the sill wasn't holding whatever. So here I think it's a big mess again, like on the other side. I think it's even worse than the other side because the rust spread up here. Here this tube is not too bad. On the other side it was gone. Oh, by the way, somebody's drill bit is still here. Can't even take it out. Anyway, so what I think I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna repair the floor all the way from here to under there. We're gonna make this channel because this is where the wiring harness travels to go into this hole here and up. Of course, I think I'm gonna do it in two pieces. I'm gonna cut this square here at the end. I'm gonna replace that, and once we have that in place, then we're gonna make a long piece from here to here with those pressings, just the end of them. And once the floor is done, then we can focus on this mess here. All right, I cleaned the edges here. I cut whatever was rotten from there. This is the piece that was there. So I cut it off. Luckily, we don't need to remove this bracket here because on the other side, we had to remove it and work on it as well. Here underneath here, I removed the floor, but the bracket is solid, so we're gonna weld the floor only without removing the bracket. And I prepared this piece of metal that is gonna go underneath like this, and I already marked where this channel needs to go. So it goes somewhere to that hole. So now we can go and pre-stretch this part here so we can make our channel. The thing is though, we need it on the other side, because if we go now on the planishing hammer and hammer it here, it's gonna bend it up, so we need to do it on the other side. So what I'm gonna do is first I'm gonna go on the bead roller and I'm gonna run very gently the outline so I can see it on this side, and then we're gonna go and pre-stretch it on the planishing hammer. Here you go. We have it on the other side now. I need to make a diapher here that is like with a very, very high crown, and then we're gonna be able to do those channels. But we're almost done anyways. So I cut it to shape and I clamped it here so I can mark a few things. But first let me show you underneath as well. So that's underneath. Of course, that's going to be pushed down here. It lines up here under the bracket, and we're going to hammer this up and we're going to weld it. And now I marked already this hole. This is for the captive nut for the seat belt. We have this big plate underneath, so we have to do it here, and I haven't done it on the other side, but since we have it here, we're gonna do the same on the other side. So I marked it based on this piece because this is where I cut it from here, so that's how it was. And another thing that we have to do now is we have to mark where to make the bend for the floor drop, and that's going to be based on this point here and our new floor, which we know that it's in the right place. So we're going to take a ruler and we're going to make a straight line from here to here, and that's going to be our position for the floor drop. How do we mark that? Okay, because I can't mark it on the other side of the ruler, I'm gonna mark it here, and then when I take the piece out, we're gonna, based on the ruler, we're gonna mark our line. Perfect. Except we need it on the other side. Okay, so I tucked it in place. Haven't welded it yet, but we're gonna weld it. This matches nicely. Oh, everything here matches. I also tucked it underneath. I guess this we're gonna finish when we flip the car, but the rest we're gonna weld soon. And now I have this piece here, and I clamped it here so I can mark where our pressings are, so we can make this on the bead roller. Then we're gonna trim it to shape, and then we're gonna make the drop. I just marked them, and now we're gonna go and stretch them on the planishing hammer as before. Okay, they're not perfect, but they look like something, you know. But it's because of my, you see my bead roller. I need to make this more stable, but I don't find time. But anyways, they are somewhat okay. We're just gonna leave them as they are. Okay, I trimmed it. It matches pretty well. So now I'm just gonna mark based on this and this flange where our floor drop is gonna be, and I'm gonna bend it, and then we can weld it. Okay, so I marked the flange, I bent it and clamped it here, so now I'm ready to tack it. But a very important step that I wanna emphasize on, I'm gonna tack it only here and here on top, but I'm not gonna tack the flange yet. Once it is tacked there, we're gonna put a straight edge on top because I can already see it sagging. So I'm gonna put a straight edge on top, and we're gonna make sure that it's level. If we have to, we're gonna jack it up and make sure that it is a straight line, and then we're gonna weld the flange here. If we have to, we might need to also make the gap a little bit bigger so we can raise it. Okay, that's pretty much okay. So now I can finish welding it here. I'm gonna weld as far as I can. I'm gonna weld a lot actually, because we left a lot of stuff here unwelded. So I'm gonna go ahead and weld everything because I feel like welding today. So I'm gonna see you in an hour or so. Okay, it's all welded. I haven't ground it yet. I'm just gonna run the grinder on top, like very gently. I'm not gonna go to town. It's not gonna be seen. So anyways, I left this because if you remember here, we moved that piece further and we opened a big gap. So here we need to insert a little bit of metal, and there's a kind of a big gap over there. So these I'm gonna repair from underneath when we flip the car. A little bit here too, but you know, here we need to repair the whole floor from underneath at some point when we flip the car again. So I haven't welded it here, but everything else is looking good, like original floor, eh? So I need to grind a little bit here and there. I need to grind inside this channel and inside here and here, because this is where the harness goes, and then we're gonna focus on this corner here. Okay, I ground it as much as I could, and it doesn't look too bad now. So now next, I think I'm gonna try to remove the remainings of this seal, the inner seal and the strengthener piece underneath, and start working on this corner here. Okay, so I removed the whatever was left from the inner seal here. There's still a little bit of a flange over there, so I'm gonna remove that as well. And then I guess first we're gonna repair this. So we're gonna have to cut a little bit of this. We're gonna cut it just like that to this hole, and it has a flange to the side which is rotten here too. You see, this is part of it. So we're gonna make this piece with a flange this way and the flange underneath going out that matches the floor, and it gets spot welded to the floor in the back. Or I guess we should repair this first, I don't know, but we have to repair this part as well. This is the strengthener piece that is cut now, but it continues that way, and it has this step here. So I'm not even sure that I'm gonna remove it because it's solid metal, so I might just extend it down and keep this piece because it's nicely welded here. But we have a repair here to be done. We'll see if we can repair this hole. We might not need to remove this, just because there's so many spot welds. I guess I'm sick and tired of removing spot welds, you know. If I don't have to remove them, I won't. I cut this piece, and it's not hard to make it and weld it, especially from behind. I can show you. I can weld some of it from here and the rest of it from there, but I'm not gonna hurry. First, I'm gonna take apart even more now. Actually, I'm gonna get rid of all the rust, and then we will see what we're gonna do first. Even here in the corner we have a little bit of rust. I cleaned it up to make sure that there's no rust, and sure enough there was. So on this side, you see, this is the cube that goes like it's a cross member. It's actually a structural piece that goes all the way to the other side, and we repaired it on the other side as well. So it is hollow inside, you see. We need to repair that first because it is buried under everything else. Let me start cutting here. This is rotten. It has holes also in this direction. This is rotten, so I'm just gonna cut like this. That's gonna give us the possibility to repair that hole in the corner because it's right here behind. So I'm gonna cut above it, which is gonna end up here inside like this. And I'm also gonna cut here. I'm gonna leave this alone because this gives us a shape, but here I can cut a piece, and yeah, I'm gonna strip it a little bit more and I'll bring you back. Okay, so I cut a little bit more And now hopefully it makes sense what I said. So now with this open, we can repair this little corner here where we had the hole inside there. Now it's clear, right? So we can repair that hole, we can repair this, we can cut it and repair it with all the flanges that it has. We can repair here, this is the bottom of the A-post all the way down there. But like I said, first thing we want to repair is this tube. But it's catch-22 because I need this tube right now for the shape of this panel and for the shape of this panel that it needs to extend because it takes a curve. So this seam here doesn't go vertically down all the way, it goes vertically to here and then it takes a turn, and you can see there's a little bit of, this is part of it, this panel that I cut. So up to here it is vertical, but then it takes a turn and goes all the way down here to meet the floor, because then we have this panel here that comes there and meets the floor as well, you see? So anyways, so to make this piece, I need this piece. So even though this tube needs to be repaired first, I'm gonna keep it there for now, and I'm gonna make the patch for here. I'm not gonna weld it, I'm just gonna make it so it is ready and it can give me reference for this panel after that with the flanges. And also I'm gonna make this patch for here, but again I'm not gonna weld it, I'm gonna just make it so I can have reference for this flange and everything else. But like I said, that's gonna happen tomorrow because I'm tired and I wanna go home. Oh, I am home. Okay, I'm gonna go have a beer. Well, I did go and I did have a beer, and now it's the next morning and I'm back. So I'm still on coffee. But I had this video almost edited and I realized that it is way too long already. Looks like I'm doing way too much detail again, but you said that you like it, so I'm gonna keep doing it. The thing is, the videos become longer than I expect, so anyways, we're gonna finish this one here, and I'm gonna start today with this repair again, but a new video. So for now, I'm just gonna say again, thank you guys for commenting, for watching, for subscribing, for sharing, for supporting me. If you're already supporting me financially, I thank you a lot. That's a big help. But if you're not and you are willing to spend some extra bucks, even though you're not gonna gain any more benefits than what you already have, there's a way to do that. You can go to the description and find the link for my Patreon page. You can go there and choose one of 3 options how to support me financially, or you can just choose to send me a PayPal or e-transfer to elin.yakov@rustybeauties.com. That's also an option, but again, you don't need to do any of that in order to keep watching or to have access to all of my videos. You already have it, even if you're not supporting me financially. So if you choose to do that, it will be only because you feel like it and you feel like saying thank you for what I'm showing here, and maybe you learn something, or maybe I help you with your project. So again, it's up to you. If you can't afford it, or if you don't feel like doing it, I still appreciate you for sharing, for commenting, and just in general being here and making my work a little bit more interesting, because I feel as if I have all of you around me. I'm not talking to a camera, I'm really talking to real people, and I feel your presence all the time, and that's really nice feeling. So thank you for that, guys. So with that said, I'm gonna sign off and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Thanks, guys. Bye.